doing, Mike?
Good, Coca, how are you?
Good. Did you bring a joint?
I did. Real special. In fact, I'll give this to you now because I'd like you later in the show to deliver a review of this tasty little morsel.
I'll do my best.
So, I guess you noticed already. Here I am, dressed up in my street clothes.
Undercover.
Yeah, well, that's not only it, you know. I missed one payment, and the rental agency is at my door just like that, you know. It's hard to keep in a suit.
I thought you got
these
that
days.
suit at the mail shop where for $100 you get a suit, 2 pair of pants, 2 ties, 2 socks, a transistor radio, a cup of coffee, and a cake.
No, I went next door where you get a jock strap, 4 pairs of used socks, and, well, I won't go into it all, but...
And a wheelbarrow.
For the same price.
Right.
Right.
Sorry.
All right, I have a... we're going to talk about some exotic things tonight.
All right.
That's right. In fact, a little secret. I'm going to tell you about Coca.
No.
In her most intimate moments, Coca likes to be tied up. Yeah. What? This is true. High on tie weed. What were you thinking? I have to go through this all the time, man. This is flashes through Coca's mind. Ah, high on tie weed. Great stuff. Now, do you remember last week I talked to you out there, I told you about the...
You're not getting this.
Page 2. About the Thai Navy escorting smuggler ships out of Asia beyond the pirate zone. Well, this campaign has apparently been a success. There is the whole United States is right now glutted with Thai from one end to the other. And they're coming in bales, or rather bindles, as the Thai refer to their large quantities of their excellent weed. That's bindles, not bundles. Bindles. Unfortunately, this glut has not offset the insatiable demand of American potheads, and the price has really not come down. Pounds that last winter were down to $18.50 are now going for $21 to about $2,300, even though there's more of it around than there was last winter. I'll give you an idea. It's the old market play, supply and demand. Now this is, of course, the top of the line when I'm talking about 2,300. There's a long spectrum of Thai weed now. It's used to be you got Thai, it was Thai. Well, you can get anything these days from scruffy gray sticks at about $1,400 a pound to some really top-notch banana buds as long as spears, and almost as deadly, at about $2,300 to $2,500 a pound. And in fact, we have here, as soon as I can get our Brinks guard to, could you hand me that bag right? Yeah, thank you, officer. All right, this is, what do they say? If it looks like a duck and it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it must be Thai.
Whoa.
This is, now this is pressed
Lock
Thai.
the door.
All right, you guys in the control room, you got the get the yellow one there. Make sure you're get the color. I want you to bring out the gold highlights on this.
Just for a second.
Okay, now let's get this on. See if I can get this on something that'll show up. Oh, Jesus! Look at the size of this butt. I can hardly lift it. All right. Now this is
Whoa.
a bud. For comparison purposes, I put it
My foot.
next to Coca's foot. This is about 6 toes worth of excellent Thai weed. As I say, you notice the gold highlights, and you can't see that. There's something wrong with your set.
It's more of a khaki.
No. I tell you, Paris missed out when they didn't put this in a perfume. Anyway, this is a particular brand. Let me deliver this back to the Brinks fellow, the guy with the Uzi machine gun there. Would you please?
It should be zipped, though. The zip lock needs to be locked.
Right. That is about a $2,200 a pound Thai. It's excellent, and you can find that pretty much anywhere you look.
We're raffling it off later on in the show. Just come right down.
Yeah, this, as I say, you notice that this is pressed. It doesn't look as good as some of the old Thais. This is because of the mass marketing techniques that are probably you're going to see more and more pressed Thai. Also, you will notice that the Foxy Thai are now including seeds. They have discovered that the Americans love these seeds because you can grow sensimilla. These are great seeds. They're the size, to use words of a friend of mine, of mouse balls. They're quite large and somewhat gray, and they leap out of the ground almost as soon as you plant them, and they mature within the United States growing season. So if you get some of this Thai, hang on to the seeds. People are buying them, by the way, at $200 an ounce for the seeds. All right, speaking of mothballs, the latest fad in acid chic, the ever-expanding LSD market, are small, spherical, so-called round-the-world hits of acid. They're about the size of BBs, and according to at least one reporter from our crack Cincinnati investigative team, Cincinnati Street investigative team.
Exactly.
Easy for me to say. They were, what was that report? Blue-green, and with a good head. They cost about $5, a little expensive. You pay for the novelty. If you don't want to pay that much, there's still blotter around, a lot of blotter. I told you last week, Daffy Duck, Mr. Bill has entered in along with Goofy, Snoopy, Mickey Mouse.
I'm waiting for Bullwinkle.
I want FDR acid. I've always thought that Franklin Delano had a... Okay, so those little morsels are $5 a hit. Keep an eye out for them.
Far?
All right. Are you chasing the dragon? Is the dragon chasing you?
Huh?
I'm talking about... You haven't heard this before? Yeah, you know what chasing the dragon is, right?
No.
Come on.
No.
Chasing the dragon.
No,
Old Oriental term for smoking opium. Years and years. Sure. Okay, if you're a pothead, you probably have noticed that your dealer of late has been stocking opium. You may have noticed there's a lot of it around.
Yes.
And like you probably have tried it like some of the other smokers.
No.
No. Okay.
Don't.
Well, so as all of you know, of course, we're not into self-righteousness on this show, and of course we're not going to tell you anything about what gets you through the night and make any judgments. But a word of warning on opium. This is it's a different kind of high. It works differently on the body, works differently on the head. It lasts a little longer. It affects the brain a little more. You'll notice that if you do opium, it's real easy the next day to do nothing. In this sense, it's a great drug. But it's a very dangerous drug. Very dangerous drug. And you have to treat it with extreme caution. This is not like pot. And it can get you hooked. And withdrawal.
After only 2 months, I might point out.
Right, and withdrawal can kill you. In 1906, for you all there, for you drug historians, in 1906, when they finally made opium illegal in the United States, there were thousands of people who died. Many of them Chinese who had been brought over to work on railroads and had brought, of course, their opium with them. And many of them died, and it was a terrible thing. And keep that in mind, because this is a dangerous drug. It's not like hash. So don't be afraid of it too much. Of course, like maybe a gram every 6 months or so isn't going to hurt you. But be warned, it's not like hash. All right, a word about the cocaine train. It's been hauling boxcar after boxcar of the white flaky stuff into town. It's been, as always, whenever there's a lot of coke, the price doesn't go down, but the quality does go up. These people who deal do get in heated competition with each other. And right now, the $100 a gram and up coke has been going at about 75 to 90% pure. So this is a good time if you have that particular affinity.
Which I hope you don't.
Right. So, one last thing.
Yes.
We keep talking about a drought, and everybody keeps asking me, where is it? Well, it's a good question. I've been looking as hard as everyone else. Everyone expected a drought. It just hasn't started this year, and it's catching a lot of people flat-footed. Last week, I paid $50 for an ounce of pot. I would never ordinarily pay that much for it because I expected that there wouldn't be anything around this week. And this week, the price had dropped $5. So, I really can't say whether or not this year's drought is going to come in on schedule. It should be here in about 10 days. By the 4th of July, your stash should be pretty low. But it may be a little later this year. I guarantee you by August, September, though, it's going to be low. There's just not that, it just doesn't grow then. So, we'll wait for our belated drought. Hopefully, we'll miss it until next fall when we come back. We won't be able to
we have
record
one
it.
more live show.
All right, so
I
guess we'll wrap this up. Make sure you take advantage of the great commercials, tie up your girlfriend, tie up your boyfriend, your dog, whatever it is that turns you on. Get some of this stuff. Great price right now.